What's going on, squids? Welcome back. All right, so in this video I'm going to talk about how to get through high school, and I'm just going to tell you my experience. Maybe this will help out a young person out there. You know, maybe they'll watch the video and go to watch my other videos, and also not only will they hear my story about how to get through high school, but they'll also hear about how I got into motorcycles, and maybe I can help somebody get into bikes. So, talk about high school. Well, I got into freshman year 2003, I believe, and my parents are divorced, and so I lived with my mom when I started high school, but got into some trouble and ended up having to move in with my dad. But the reason it was so traumatic for me was because from kindergarten through freshman year of high school, I went to school with the same group of people. Same elementary, same middle, and then initially same high school. Whatever. I don't think personally high school is a fantastic time to have to switch schools, but I didn't have that choice. I just had to do it. So initially it was jarring, but I will say that I quickly made friends, and you know, within a few weeks it wasn't that big of a deal. And then of course I ended up staying at that school and graduating from that school. So the reason I'm talking about this is because you get judged a lot, right? And I think it's way worse now than it ever was when I was in school, because when I was in school, smartphones was not a thing. Let me rephrase that. Smartphones were not a thing when I was in high school. So a lot of issues that kids run into nowadays is if their friends get something on video, like if they get into a fight or whatever the case is, they get made fun of. Those videos are now around forever. And it'd be different if it was like just your buddy videoing it, but because everybody has a smartphone now, you know, like you're going to have a dozen videos of one incident or whatever. And especially with social media, which I don't let my kids get on social media, but a lot of parents do, and kids will be kids, and they'll find a way around it, and they'll usually start a profile somehow anyway. So kids have to deal with that now. So depression is up, anxiety is up, other scenarios are up. I'm not going to say what, but I think you can know what I'm talking about. But so times are a lot more difficult, I believe, for kids now than they used to be. As far as trying to be popular or be accepted or whatever in high school, let me tell you about that. So my experience with that is it doesn't matter if you're a goth, you're a skater, you're a varsity basketball player. I went to school with one of the most popular guys that was in high school at the time. It was on the varsity team, even dated the head of the girls basketball team. Super popular, super successful in high school. Years later, found out that he had gotten mixed up with drugs and robbed a Cricket, like the cell phone store, with another guy at gunpoint. So not only did he end up being a drug addict, but he also ended up being a felon. So it just goes to show that it doesn't matter, like what you have to understand, I guess what I'm saying is, it doesn't matter. I know it seems like it at the time, and with peer pressure and the fear of, you know, other people knowing things or making fun of you or whatever, it can be overwhelming. But you have to understand, when you get out of high school, none of that matters. None of that matters. Like I said, you got a varsity basketball player prep that ended up being a drug addict felon when he got out of high school. And then you got the girls like cheerleaders that are absolutely drop dead gorgeous in high school that ended up being, you know, fat whores out of high school that have multiple children with multiple guys or whatever. So, and then you got the girls that maybe were dorky or not as popular in high school. They end up out of high school, they end up being absolutely beautiful and being good, you know, good wives, or end up getting a good career, whatever. So try not to fall into that trap of always trying to impress, or always trying to, you know, be popular or have the latest clothing brand or whatever. Just go in, be nice to everybody, keep your head down, do your thing, and get out. Because I promise, when you get out of school, none of that means anything. I know there's like a hierarchy within high school, what you like to think there is. But when you get out of school, unless your parents are super rich, we're all on the same playing field. We all start back at the bottom and have to work our way up. Don't let high school get you down. I ended up probably falling into the skater category. I wasn't a skater, but I ended up hanging out with them the most. And my senior year, I ended up becoming friends with a guy that was more popular than I was, and we ended up becoming best buddies, and even hung out after we graduated. We ended up continuing to hang out. So, things can change very quickly. Yeah, about $4,000. All right, getting compliments on the Grom while I'm out. That's cool. Don't fall into that wanting to be popular, wanting to fit in category. And I'll tell you something else too. When other people see you being nice to everybody and being accepting or whatever, and just try to be a leader. Maybe I should have titled the video "Be a Leader, Not a Follower." Because you'll get around a group of people that will be shit talking to somebody else, but then you can be the one in your friend group to be the nice one. And then your friends will follow you. You know what I'm saying? They'll be like, hey, we don't have to be a dick to this individual. Let's be nice or whatever. And then they may change their ways based off of your actions. So, I don't know. Just do your best. Be nice. And don't fall into that trap of thinking you got to fit in. Because whenever you get out of school, like I say, I promise, none of that means anything. If you stayed this long, check out the other vids. I really appreciate it, and I will catch you in the next one.